Gretchen Carlson, we know she was a former Fox News anchor, and then she had the whole sexual misconduct allegations formed against Ailes, who was the head of Fox. He has since passed away, which is just a whole different story. But she was one of the first ones before the Me Too movement had started. She's one of the first women in our industry who came forward and said, hey, listen, this is happening and I'm leaving because it's gotten to a point where I can take care of my own life and not depend on this job. Well, now a new job has come her way. She's the head of Miss America. And if you may think, okay, who does she think she is and to be able to be a head of Miss America? Well, she won the pageant back in 1989. And now she's stepping forward, and in an exclusive interview this morning, which was on Good Morning America, you see her right there, she was talking about the book, or excuse me, not the book, the pageant, and saying that there's possibility that she may get rid of the swimsuit portion of the competition. Do we have sound from her? Okay, let's go ahead and toss it to her.
Miss Gwinnett County, Amy Robach.
Is the idea of a successful young woman parading around in a swimsuit on stage to be judged by her physical appearance, which you and I both subjected ourselves to, is that outdated?
Amy, I have so many great ideas for this organization, and I will be talking about all of those with all the other board members and the eventual CEO and staff of Miss America. So what I would love to say about that is please stay tuned, because I plan to make this organization 100% about empowering women.
Changes are coming.
Changes are coming.
Big changes.
Potentially big changes.
It was 18.
All right, tiptoeing around that answer.
Right, and this,
But
I
big
think this
changes.
was probably lost in the news a little bit because it happened close to Christmas and New Year's, but there was a number of big resignations from the organization Miss America, because there were some people caught up in some emails saying things about some of the contestants that were they were just not nice. They were very just based judgmental on physical appearance and things like that. And so there was this back and forth, and so should resign. Ultimately, I think there were 3 top people in that organization that resigned, opening up the opportunity for her to join and then put her signature on it. You know, as a woman, as a former winner, I think she has a lot to say. She obviously cares about the organization. That probably opened up a lot of doors for her.
Yeah, when one door closed at Fox, you know, this seems to be a perfect opportunity for her if she wants to instill some sort of change in an organization that means so much to her and to every woman going through the pageant lifestyle.
Right.
We are in 2018. This is going to be the year of the woman coming off the Me Too movement, now the Time's Up movement. We're going to see actors, actresses, movie execs, all of Hollywood, those who are for this Me Too movement, step it up with the Time's Up movement at the Golden Globes this Sunday, wearing all black. It's the year of change. So I think this is an appropriate conversation to be having when it comes to the swimsuit portion of any competition, unless it's a fitness competition.
Right, unless that's why you're there.
Unless that's why you're there.
Yeah, right.
I have felt like it's outdated. At my age now, growing up watching the pageants, it was one thing to be watching it like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, these beautiful women, and they're smart or they're not, whatever it may be when they're speaking. You don't see it through the eyes of a woman. Now as a woman, it's like, who am I? Who are you? Who is anyone to be judging another woman's body without knowing the story behind their body, whether it is they're going through any sort of struggle or not. That's just the way they were born. Who are we to judge someone's body when talking about Miss America?
Right.
To me, as long as it's a healthy body, you know, I'm not going to be pushing to do unhealthy things to your body, but the way in which it's shaped isn't my business.
Right. I mean, the times are changing very quickly, and we're seeing that. And I think that they probably will get rid of it.
I think so.
And, you know, if you're a fan of pageants, you know, you may say, hey, you can't mess with this tradition. This is just the way that it's done. It's a beauty pageant after all, so beauty should be part of it. But you have to understand, I think the whole goal of Miss America in the beginning and these pageants was to discover these bright, smart, young women.
It's a scholarship pageant.
Exactly, with talents and hopes and dreams, and they are supposed to represent the best of young, motivated women and what they have to offer the future. And I just don't think that looking good in a swimsuit has that role.
And what message does that send to
doesn't
Lakin?
matter. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? The next generation coming up, even though whether she goes and competes in a pageant or not.
Right.
This competition involves young women. I say young because 17 to 24. My body at 17 and the way it is now and the way in which I treat my body now, or the way in which I know my body now is much different between 17 and 24. And so it's one of those things where when you instill, it's like a lot when you talk about Hollywood, all of the things that they think they have to live up to as people in that industry. It's like, what kind of young woman are we shaping to think that your body image, even if it can't get a certain way? I mean, Ariane, if she was here, she's on vacation right now. She was part of the competition world growing up, the pageant world. And she said she was at a point in her life where she had gotten in great physical shape, like the best her body has ever been, and a judge told her, and she didn't end up winning, but had told her it was because of the width of her thighs. And you're looking at the pictures, you look fantastic, you look amazing. Again, who am I to judge? But it's one of those things she'll never forget.
Oh, let me tell you something. Being physically judged is something that
body shaming.
Right, exactly. And I've seen this firsthand. Let me take you to, there's weather conferences all over the country.
Yeah.
And there's this thing called a tape swap where you put up your weather forecast, right? And there was a weather student that went to this conference and put up her weather tape. She was great. She was awesome. She was smart, could easily explain the weather. She was just a great young meteorologist.
Up-and-coming meteorologist.
She put up her tape up there, and somebody decided that all of the criticisms for her tape in particular were going to be about her appearance. It was horrifying. She left the room crying, and she never practiced meteorology and trying to do the weather again after that conference. So let me tell you something. The person that had that critique, she didn't know any of that. She was just thinking, okay, I'm going to just talk about X, Y, and Z. This is just how it is. But I literally saw it firsthand that it changed the future of what she thought she could do and where she belonged in an instant. So you have to realize that, you know, for Ariane and for others, that one of those moments, and maybe to the other people, a small thing, it has permanent resonance with the people that are being criticized. And my point is this: what is the point of that? There's nothing you can do about it. You just are the way you are, you know. So you should focus on the other things. How curious are you about the world? How much time do you spend trying to, you know, figure things out and learn and do and give back, and all of those other things are so much more important. And I hope that is sort of the new benchmark and how you decide who would be a winner of one of these pageants, because it's really what they bring to the table. You know, how you look, I mean, it's going to change day to day, year to year, and you know what? It's not permanent, and it doesn't mean anything because it's not going to change the world.
No, and how you look in a swimsuit when it's revealing every section except your personal parts.
Right.
You look a lot different in a bathing suit than you do in a suit, you know, a three-piece, two-piece suit.
Right.
So maybe they switch it up. Instead of swimsuit, it's two-piece suit. I mean, let's put a spin on it where it's like, as a professional woman in the workforce, how are you going to, even that, it's like that, again, about clothes, that isn't necessarily Miss America worthy, at least a conversation for me. You're saying